Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Friday afternoon, May the 30th, 2025. We're just about to close out the beautiful month of May and start the second half of 2025 on Sunday as we turn the calendar over to June. So thank you for watching on this hazy, warm Friday afternoon, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there inside of my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support to the channels. Excuse me, leave a comment on the video if you like. You don't have to, but if you want to, please leave a comment about the topic at hand. Don't leave stupid comments because I will not read them. You'll get blocked and sent to the Shadow Realm where Satan will eat your soul. So please do not do that. Be respectful of my rules on my channels. And if not, go to your dead channel and do your own shit there because nobody will care for it. And as always, follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Because if you do, well, you suck. And you're SOL, and you know what that means. And if you don't know, look it up. And for our first-time viewers, if you're here for the very first time, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a cold one, and put your feet up and enjoy the show. I don't have a cold one right now because I finished it. And that's that. But whatever you're drinking, have fun. And enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You know, like I said, move on. That's that. Speaking of moving on, hope everybody has a great weekend. It is, like I said, it's the final weekend of May as we turn over to June to start the second half of the year. And hopefully you have a better second half than you did in the first half. Or if you had a great first half, or if you have an even better second half. But to each their own, and that's that. Alright, we got SmackDown coming up later tonight. Some good shit tonight as, we're getting closer to Money in the Sperm Bank next weekend, along with NXT Worlds Collide. So we got a couple of good matches. We got Cody, Cody, and John Cena in the same building again tonight after what happened at what happened last week. No, that's Saturday's main event. I'm talking about something else. So, Cody comes back at Saturday's main event, teams up with Jay. Jay didn't even mention it this past Monday. I'll get to it in a minute. I don't know why. I know he's got Walter to worry about, but don't you got something else going on? Just saying. So, Cody and Cena will talk tonight. Let's talk about... what do you want to talk about? This stupid podcast sucks too. But I digress on that. So we got those two guys, and we got a couple of Money in the Bank qualifiers. We got Nia, Jax, and Jade Cargill and Naomi in the ladies' Money in the Bank qualifier. The last one, I believe. And in the men, I believe we got one or two. Tonight we got Andrade taking on Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean? And also Carmelo Hayes. Him. So, one of those men will go on to the Money in the Bank match next Saturday to join the respective people in those two matches to get that briefcase. I heard Hunter doesn't like the briefcase. Maybe we won't get a briefcase this time. We'll just get like a contract on top of the ladder or whatever it is. You don't need a fucking briefcase. We don't need no stinking briefcases. Okay. So, we'll see what happens with that. NXT rating dropped a little bit. And AEW's rating went up a little bit. So, it was almost pretty even this week between NXT and AEW. I think AEW was the way better show, but it's just me. Even though in TNA we had Mike Santana and Trick Willie on the show, along with new champions Ethan Page and not sadly, but JC Jane. So we got all of them. So Ricky Starks will be going up to the main roster. I think he will be on SmackDown. That should be fun. Going after that, maybe going after that US title. Jordan Grace is going to be on SmackDown. Julia's going to be on Raw, which I think is good because she can kind of relive her little thing with EO. Oh, that'd be great. And Mommy Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vicor. I would love to see that. And Jordan Grace is going to SmackDown as well. So, NXT, all the big names are coming up to the main roster very quickly. And, we need new challengers eventually for those respective titles. And, who knows? Mariah May be on her way. That rhymed, but we'll see. We'll see. She's got to get a big, fat contract. She should get a big, fat dick, but that's another story for another time. Don't tell me I said that. No, I'm kidding. Who am I? I don't know. But Mariah, call me. Go ahead. I digress. Alright, enough about that bullshit. But we got all that coming this weekend. I will do TNA Ring of Honor from last night. I'll do that tomorrow. Later tonight, because I have to be going out in a little bit. I have to do I have to run some errands. And I have to I have a late doctor appointment, so I have to do that. And much more. But I will be watching SmackDown tonight. And I will do the review later tonight. Because I will be home really late because I'm going into the city after my doctor appointment with the miss, and I have to meet the missus in the city. So, blah, 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 blah. I'm a busy man. You're not. So, fuck you. Think I don't have a life? Fuck you, because you can't prove it. Not that you prove anything lately, but that's another story for another time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful Friday afternoon, May the 30th, 2025, right here on the Kill Demons channel, I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host, the tribal god of Extreme, and you better believe it, acknowledge your king. And, that's not, I am a content creator, talk about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, whatever the fuck I want to talk about. You're gonna like it eventually. But if you do like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, you haven't done it before, ever done it already. Leave a comment if you wish, but like I said, don't leave stupid comments, and then all that other good shit. And thank you for your support. Alright, really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your WWE Monday Night Raw Thoughts. It's time for your Raw Thoughts. Not thought, but thoughts, off the top of the dome. Alright, so Raw this past Monday night. Like this, it was alright, nothing great about it, but we move on with that. Alright, so Raw emanated from, once again, we're finished out the Tampa weekend last weekend, so on the Memorial Day edition of Monday Night Raw, thank you for all the men and women in the armed services for your service. We love you all. America! Alright, so we're emanating once again from the Youngling Center in Tampa, Florida. And our commentary team of Michael Cole and the Pacers mascot, that's Pat McAfee. Yeah, the Pacers looked like shit last night, and the Knicks just walloped them. The Pacers had a couple of good moments where they could have cut the lead down to like single digits or get close to taking the lead, but the Knicks just didn't let up. Just put the pedal on the metal. They won Game 5 at the Garden last night, 114. No, I think it was like 121. What was it? 111-94, something like that. Who cares? Game 6 tomorrow in Indiana. Pacers still up 3-2. We'll see if the Knicks can force a Game 7 back at the Garden on, I believe, Monday night. So 7th Avenue might be rocking, this weekend and maybe into Monday. Because the NBA Finals are this Thursday, June the 5th. And Oklahoma City Thunder are already in. They walloped the Minnesota Timberwolves in, I believe, Game 5. Walloped them to go to the NBA Finals, I believe, for the first time in their mighty history, even though there were Supersonics before. But so we'll see what happens with that. So the Thunder are anxiously awaiting either the Pacers or the Knicks. I hope it's the Pacers tomorrow night, but we'll see. If the Knicks can make a miraculous comeback like the Boston Red Sox. You remember that, Yankee fans? But we'll see what happens with that. Tomorrow night, it's going to be pretty damn epic. And Collision will come after that. We were hoping Collision would be at 8. No, it's going to be at 11:30 right after the Knicks-Pacers Game 6 game. And horrible post-show. So check your local listings. It might be after 11:30, depending on how the game goes. And how the post-show goes. I mean, they'll talk for like 3 hours. I'm like, shut up already! I don't like wrestling! You know, it's taped, but, you know. No, I got Women of Wrestling, WOW, you know, at 11 o'clock, so I don't have to worry too much. You know, that's taped, but at least I see gorgeous ladies of wrestling, not glow, but hot women on a Saturday night. And I don't have to go to the club to do that. Or just look at Rosa. But it is what it is. We move on. Alright, so Pat McAfee and Michael Cole kicking things off. This is the kind of aftermath of Saturday Night's Main Event, but we're rolling on the Money in the Bank. So if I can get my notes. There we go. Thank you. Alright, speaking of recaps, we get a big, huge recap from Saturday Night's Main Event about everything that happened. Bronson Reed returned and joined up with Seth Rollins, the guy that he tsunami'd 6 times about a few months ago, I should say. Braun Breaker, I don't know if they see on the eye, but we'll see. And the so-called wise man. My name is Paul Heyman. Alright. So we started off with those guys in nice suits from the Men's Warehouse, because when you go to the Men's Warehouse, you can get suits like they wear. And maybe, just maybe, Fat Boy, I know you're watching, Fat Boy, you other douchebag, you know, that don't look good. Maybe, just maybe, you can go to Men's Warehouse and get yourself a suit, but you won't get my discount. But maybe, some of you ugly fucks out there can maybe like the way you look. I don't know if the Men's Warehouse will guarantee that, but when I go, they make me look good. Because I feel good. And when you look good, you feel good. That is a commercial. It is. My commercial. No, I'm kidding. I would, you know. It is a commercial, but I didn't make it. I should have, but every time I think about making a commercial, you know, we have the idea, but we can't. Can't do it. We can't do that. Somebody took me and Rose's idea of it's better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it. Fucking Social Security, whatever it was, life insurance commercial, stole our idea. Bastards. Should sue, but, you know. We lose because it's really not, it's our idea, but we never, you know, we didn't put it on TV. It is what it is. Alright, so they come out, and Heyman saying, oh, you know, he's like praising Seth Rollins up the wazoo, and he's actually telling people to acknowledge him. He brings up Roman, you know, Roman's coming back next Saturday night to screw Seth Rollins, hopefully. I mean, we'll see what happens with that, and then, you know, Seth's like, you know, he praises himself, he says, I'm the greatest, like, I'm a revolutionary, I'm a visionary, I am Seth freaking Rollins! Blah, 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 he's back to Sami Zayn and Punk, cost him the World Heavyweight title. But Rollins has a better idea, I'm gonna qualify for the Money in the Bank, that's gonna be in the main event against, who was that against? Finn Balor and, I forget who, blah, blah. It was Finn Balor and I forget who else, but moving on. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. He's gonna take the title and, you know, cash it in whatever he wants and take whatever title he wants. He said that's true power because he's a visionary, blah, 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 blah. And that pretty much ends that segment, so we'll see what happens at the end of the night with that. Alright, then we go to the first Money in the Bank qualifying match. We have Penta Pentagon Zero Miedo. He takes on, well, I don't know how he's still in the company, and he's still in the LWO. It's Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. Oh, thank you. This was a pretty good match. Really scary spot. Where Pentagon had Chad Gable in like I thought he was gonna give him like a German suplex, but he had Dragon Lee behind him in like a gory bomb position. And it just looked bad. And then Chad Gable landed on his head, and he was busted wide open, like right around this area. He had a nasty bump and everything. Ugh. It's just nasty. But finished the match, and we're getting to the end. El Hijo del Vikingo was in the crowd, not happy with a certain guy named Chad Gable, and they will be fighting at Worlds Collide, whether it be Chad Gable or El Grande Americano. So anyway, Dragon Lee hits a scary dive, takes on Pentagon on the announcer's table. Ow. And then Chad Gable goes after El Hijo del Vikingo. That didn't sit well with him, as he comes in after a moonsault gives Gable on the fall on Pentagon. He goes up again for another one, but El Vikingo breaks it up. Dragon Lee hits his super double stomp, but then Pentagon grabs a Mexican Destroyer on Chad Gable. 1, 2, he hits that. Then the Pentagon driver, 1, 2, 3 to qualify for the Money in the Bank. So he's in there with Solo, with Eli, and a couple others. So we got that. So good match, but scary spot with Chad Gable. I'm glad he's okay, but he's got a little bitty, boo-boo. Very nasty boo-boo. And him and El Vikingo, El Hijo del Vikingo, went at it. We'll see what happens like Saturday afternoon in their match. And his father, El Hijo del Vikingo's father, got the shit bit out of him on a some Spanish program by Alberto Del Rio. So, I thought Alberto wasn't going to come back to WWE, and I thought he got fired from AAA. Obviously not. So we'll see what happens with that. We might see Alberto next week. Maybe. I hope not, but never know. Alright, so we got that. And we move on. Alright, then we go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Roxanne Perez. Roxy gives Dom Dom some more chicken tenders. Chicken tenders! Starts rubbing his shoulders. Oh boy. And then Liv Morgan is back. Sees this and like, get your hands off my boyfriend, bitch! She's like, well, I'm off to qualify for Money in the Bank. And Rox's like, oh, I didn't do anything. And then Finn's in the back like, I think my plan. Dom and Liv are turning face pretty soon. I don't like that, but we'll see how it goes. But, damn, Dom, you a savage. Got your hot wife, real-life wife. You had Mommy Rhea Ripley. You have Liv Morgan, and now possibly Roxanne Perez. Ooh, boy. You savage. And all that yummy booty. Save some for me. Eddie! What's up, Missy? Yes, Missy! Mr. Joseph, what's up? Dom's stealing all my women away. I want all these women too. I'll have a talk with him. You gonna get that pussy, okay, Essay Battle? Okay. You have your own with your gun, but I'll get you more. Okay. Thanks, Eddie. You have a great day. Bye. Oh, bye. Adios. Okay. Sorry. Imagine Eddie Guerrero getting me pussy. Oh, boy. Anyway. Next is stage left. Okay. Moving on. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that situation. But like I said, ladies, a way to a man's heart is with good gifts. You know what those gifts are, ladies. Not that I recommend it, but, you know. I mean, if you want to give some gifts, that's fine, but... I mean, if you want to gift your body, that's up to you. You know. That's up to you, but I mean... I don't give my body out to anybody, you know. I'm just gifted. But I digress. Alright, moving on. Before I go crazy. Alright, so... We get that. Then we get a Memorial Day video narrated by Cody! Nobody cared. We get that. Alright, then we get to the 54-second funeral of Akira Tozawa as Rusev. Rusev smash Akira Tozawa and Lana Pussy! Yeah! He kills Akira Tozawa. And then, we know what he does to Lana in the bedroom. Sadly, the lovely Maxine is there, just to look hot. Rusev beat him with the accolade 54 seconds. Goodbye! And then, he won't let go of the move, and then Sheamus! Fella! He comes out for the save. I'm interested in this one. Sign me up. Alright, we move on. Alright, then we get to a segment that got a lot of heat from the people in the back and a lot of fans. We see comedians Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. Or Bert Kreischer, we know, takes his shirt off during his set. Tom Segura is just fat. They promote their shows on Netflix that nobody will watch, except for maybe Rosa, but... And then Bert runs off. He calls Tom over to meet War Machine, and they start doing the war chant. Tom's like, pfft. What is this? I'm not impressed. So, I wasn't either, and, yeah. Both of these guys got, destroyed online. Like, what is this? It's just like, every time you watch Netflix, they have these people that are sort of famous, and then you have people like... not Tom Segura, per se. You have got, like, these rappers or these people from Netflix shows, like, who the fuck are you people? I mean, we had Waka Flocka about, I think this week or about a few episodes ago. At least we know who that guy is. I mean, Waka Flocka's not that relevant, but still, I know who he is. At least he's better than a guy Kendrick Lamar. Moving on. Alright, so we got that. Then Sami Zayn's all upset. I wonder why. But then so the Geek Man comes in and says, hey, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna qualify for Money in the Bank. You're gonna be Seth and Finn. We'll see. And then they handshake to do that. Shit. Okay. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then we got a triple threat match for the tag team belts. So we have the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. They take on the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, and War Machine, Eric and Ivar. Pretty good match, but sadly, the New Day retained the tag team titles, even though they were kind of working with the Creeds, and then I say, fuck you. And, yeah. Get back in, Julius hits a step-up knee to knock Ivar off the top rope. Ow. And then Xavier Woods with a fruit roll-up with a handful of underwear. 1, 2, 3, another 10 minutes, they retain the belts. So, don't know who beats the New Day at this point. So it looks like the New Day might go on another long reign, even though Big E's not there, which sucks. We'll get that. Alright, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they're in the back, and they run into my hot Asian wives, well, number 2 and number 3, that's Kairi Sane, the Pirate Princess, and the Raw Women's Champion. You know her, you love her, she goes crazy, like me, Io Sky. Alright, so Liv mocks both of them, and then Kairi's like, oh, you mocked me, I want you in the ring, we have a match. And we will not go for sushi later, bitch. Okay, I shouldn't say that. So Kairi Sane and Liv Morgan have a match later on. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then it's time for 20 minutes of yeeting as the Yeet Man comes out, Jey Uso. Recap some things that happened, beating Logan Paul in Saturday's main event. The stuff, we didn't really, I thought he was going to mention the stuff with Cody and Cena and Logan Paul going into Money in the Bank, but Walter cuts him off. He says, oh, no, you ain't getting your 15 minutes of yeeting. Congratulates Jey for being in the WWE for 15 years and his first successful title defense. And he wants Jey to know, don't expect to hold that belt for long because on June 9th, you have to face me. Blah, blah, blah. And basically, Jey's going to fight for the people's support and keep his belt. That's what Jey said. Walter says, I'm going to relieve you of your duties. I'm going to win back my belt. I mean, we'll see. I still think if a Raw guy or a SmackDown guy wins the Money in the Bank, they're probably going to cash in on Jey real quick. Then again, maybe cash in on Cena. Who knows? If he still has the belt on him. Well, Cena will probably have the belt till the end of the year, but, good little promo from Jey. Though I really would have liked Jey to talk about what happened at Saturday Night's main event with Cody. It's like, I'll team up with Cody against Cena and Logan Paul will kick their ass. Got nothing. Speaking of nothing, Cody had Brandy, his hot wife, on his stupid podcast. I don't know what he cared to even listen to. Alright, we move on. Then we get to Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane. Raquel Rodriguez at ringside. Io, I don't remember if she was there, but no, she was in my bedroom. I'm sorry. It was a good match for what it's worth. Roxanne Perez comes out. And then Dom Dom came out as well. As Kairi goes out for the insane elbow, Dom Dom comes out for the scratcher, which allows Roxy to shove Kairi off. Oh, damn it. And then Raquel Rodriguez starts yelling at Roxy. He's like, what are you doing here? And then I think Roxy said, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm supposed to, why am I here? I'm like, what? And then, alright, so Liv goes to Oblivion, and Kairi counted into a fruit roll-up. 1, 2, 3, and just under 11 minutes, she gets the win. I was happy. And Liv was not happy. She starts, go to break. The back was good, so Kairi gets the win. And then after the break, we find out Rhea Ripley's ready to win Money in the Bank, which is her first actual ladder match. Okay. I thought she had one in NXT, or... Alright. I mean, we'll see what happens with Mommy in that match. I don't think she's gonna win. I really think Roxy's gonna win that match. I have a feeling Roxy's gonna win. And bring it back to the so-called... Well, she's not really in Judgment Day, technically. I mean, she will be when they break the faction up. We have Dom Dom's team, and then have Finn's team. Eventually, we'll get there. Speaking of that. Alright, so Liv is in the back, so she's yelling at Roxy, and then blames Raquel. Uh-oh! Bye-bye tag team titles, because, Kairi and Io did a video, a video for the YouTube page, and Kairi's like, Io's all happy, but Kairi's like, Kairi, yay! And then they talk about, I think Kairi's talking about women's tag team belts. I'm like, yes! Go after them so Io become a double champion, and then we just wait for Asuka to come back. Whenever that might be. There's so many setbacks with Asuka. Timeline, we don't know when. It's soon. She is on the horizon. Just got to be medically cleared by the idiot doctors. And then they're going to be back, supposedly, as Damage Control, which I think is retarded. Just let them come back as the Black Lotus. Please. Damage Control is such a stupid name that was made by Bayley. I'm just saying, I want the Black Lotus name in WWE. And it's with Kyrie, Asuka, and Io. The way it should have been, that was in Japan. Alright, so we got that. And then the Lassie Beach from Ireland, Layla Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, she comes out, still pissed off with, the man, Becky Lynch. We know we got that match happening at Money in the Bank, so Becky comes out, they go at it again. Becky's like, oh, you got as your boyfriend, and, not Becky, Lyra says something about Seth freaking Rollins, and Becky comes back, it's like, it's like, you made this personal, and blah, blah, blah. Then she talks about Lyra's boyfriend, blah, 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 and, Lyra says after Backlash, Becky went home with her hot husband, and I went to the hospital with my fiancé. And then she calls Seth Rollins the best thing about you. I'm like, damn. And then Becky says, I made you what you are today, but, you beat me for the NXT Women's title. So that doesn't work for Lyra because people are talking about her about her win at Backlash. Tainted, I might add. Should have won. So then, alright, so Becky's like, alright, we're gonna, she gets all mad, she's like, alright, calms herself down and says, alright, Lyra, I'm gonna up the stakes here in our match. If I beat you, if you beat me, I will never challenge for your belt ever again. Lyra's like, that's fine, I already beat you twice. Once with my eyes closed. And then, Becky's like, I'm not done yet! If I win, I get the title, and you will have to raise my hand. And Lyra's like, okay. And then Lyra's like, well, I already did that, so I have no problem, raising my own hand. If someone, I have no problem with, if I win, I'll raise your hand or some shit. I hope Becky wins this match at Money in the Bank. And then, at Evolution coming up in July, there's talk of her and Bayley going at it. That will be fun. We'll see. What happens with that? Alright, then we see Sami Zayn walking in the hallway, and then we hear, hey, Sammy! And it's Killer Kross with the lovely skirted Voodoo on a ladder. Why is he not? He's not even in a qualifying match. Why is he backstage? I know the fans are going nuts for the guy. Well, besides Scarlett looking hot with her boobies popping out, but, kind of makes no freaking sense. To just have him there, he's probably, I think he's the #1 merch guy now, because his shirt's been going crazy right now. I have to get that, too. So he stops Sammy. Sammy's like, I got no time for you and your head games. And then Kross like, well, I guess you'll never win a title ever. And then Sammy's like, I'll deal with you later. I'll see you in the parking lot. No, he didn't say that. And then we see the New Day somewhere in the back talking like, oh, he did it. Grayson Waller, though we couldn't really see his face. I thought it was Austin Theory at one point, but I'm like, Alright, we get that. Alright, then we run down the Money in the Bank card as of right now. And then we get to the main event. Seth freaking Rollins versus Sammy versus Finn Balor for a spot in Money in the Bank. I believe the fourth slot. Very good match. Eventually, Dom Dom comes out and wants to help his good buddy Finn. He has a chair, throws it in the middle of the ring. Seth freaking Rollins sees it. And then stomps Finn on the chair. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Seth freaking Rollins goes on to Money in the Bank. Thanks to Dom Dom. Okay, we go with that. Alright, so that was that. So, good match there. And then after the match, Seth is, he's celebrating, I think, with Braun and Bronson Reed there. The Wise Man is there as well. And then, I think they were beating up Sammy for a little bit. And then, CM Punk! He runs in. with the GTS to Seth freaking Rollins. I think he came from the other side of the ring. He gets the GTS to Seth, and then Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker like, hey, he's over there! They run into the ring. They try to run after him, and then Punk goes right into the crowd, almost falls in the stands like an idiot, and that pretty much ends the show. So we know Seth freaking Rollins may or may not win Money in the Bank. He might get screwed up by Sammy. He might get screwed up by Punk. But then again, a certain tribal chief might come back. I mean, we did hear that Roman might be coming back in June, or possibly July, or at SummerSlam. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that, because we do got Night of Champions coming up at the end of June. So, I mean, they could do something there with Punk, with all those guys at Night of Champions, but, I mean, Seth's not going to talk about a title. So I assume Cena will be there. Cena's definitely going to be there in Saudi Arabia, because it's in Saudi Arabia, defending his belt against Cody, maybe. They might run back Cena Cody 2, Electric Boogaloo in the Land of Sand. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But I think at Money in the Bank, it's going to be Cena and the Yeet Man Jey Uso taking on Logan Paul and Cena, which was supposed to be Cena and Travis Williams, but Travis Scott, that's another guy, Travis Williams was another guy, Travis Scott quit the WWE. He's like, oh, I'm not fighting anymore. Well, yeah, you got your receipt, Cody gave you a receipt, a while back, and then, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Your little WrestleMania moment, and then left. Well, maybe he comes back, I don't know. But that match that was supposed to happen is not happening. So Logan Paul just gets added in. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that tonight on SmackDown. Maybe Logan Paul is there, I don't know. With Jey Uso might be there. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. But we do got those 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight. I think Jade and Carmelo Hayes will go on to Money in the Bank. I hope Carmelo goes to Money in the Bank. He deserves it. I mean, Jacob does too. But then again, if Jacob does qualify, then what might happen with Solo and Jacob going up the ladder, and then, they're fighting, and then JC Mateo, we all know, Matanza Cueto, Jeff Cobb might screw Jacob. And Jacob's going to go into his face turn pretty soon. Maybe join up with a certain tribal chief. We'll see. Gonna be an interesting summer, I'll tell you that much. For, our tribal chief and what's left of the bloodline. And the fake as fuck bloodline. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta run some errands, and I have to run into the hectic halls of New York City. Well, not the hectic halls, the hectic streets of New York City. So, I'm gonna get out of here. I will be back later tonight with your SmackDown review right here on the channel. But as of right now, I gotta get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. As far as my rating goes, I gave Raw 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't that great. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Alright, gotta go. Thanks for watching. Bye! Peace!